former president of Mexico, Vicente Fox, he said today, and I'm quoting him, he said, "I'm not going to pay for that, quote, effing wall." So if you don't get an actual check from the Mexican government for $8 or $10 or $12 billion, whatever it will cost, how are you going to make them pay for the wall?
I will, and the wall just got 10 feet taller, believe me. It's got 10 feet taller. I saw him make the statement. I saw him use the word that he used. I can only tell you, if I would have used even half of that word, it would have been national scandal.
Donald Trump offering again an answer that sounds like what Mike Huckabee was getting to a bit earlier. Speaking of Governor Huckabee, we should note that he is still with us, as is our own Steve Malzberg, host of the eponymously named Steve Malzberg Show, and Skyping in from Atlanta, Georgia, the man from Insider Advantage, the pollster, political consultant, and one-time Capitol Hill staffer, Matt Towery. There is something else that happened tonight, gentlemen, that we need to talk about. And Mike, let me go to you first on this. Ted Cruz made a point about Donald Trump. Despite the Donald certitude and his effectiveness of one-liners, he said, wait a minute, you got a candidate who's going to be in court in July. You got questions about his tax returns. Are we going to nominate someone who will be risky? What about the riskiness of the Trump choice? Did Ted Cruz score a point there?
I think it was lost on most people because, look, Donald Trump is involved in so many business endeavors, and people recognize that you're always going to have something going. When I was a governor, which I was for 10 and a half years, I got sued every single day. Every day I got sued. My first day in office, I got sued. And I thought, what on earth is going on? Then I realized it's part of the job. And I think most people look at someone who has a multi-billion-dollar enterprise and assume that there's always going to be something going on, and they just don't care about it. They care about their jobs, not Donald Trump's.
Well, Matt Towery, let me turn to you. In the Nixon White House, they used to ask, how's this going to play in Peoria? Let me ask, how's this going to play in Paris, Texas? Or maybe in Valdosta, Georgia, or some of the other states that are going to be involved in Super Tuesday?
Well, that's a very good question. Here's my take on this. I see it a little differently. I think Rubio was an attacker tonight, but I don't think he scored a whole lot of points. He may have upped his numbers in Virginia a little bit where he has a chance to actually win. I thought Ted Cruz, because he scored those conservative points, I don't think he's getting enough credit. He may have saved himself in Texas. And so both of them might win one or two states. But quite frankly, Donald Trump, as Governor Huckabee said a few moments ago, Donald Trump is speaking to an entire world of disaffected individuals, some of whom have voted Republican, some of whom haven't, some of whom have not been excited. And he didn't lose a single thing tonight. In fact, he was more specific, I thought, in his answers and more realistic in his answers than he has been in any of the other prior debates. So, and you know, I started out, my first job after winning the National Debate Championship was as Newt Gingrich's debate prepper in 1980. So, I mean, my whole business started out as being a debate coach in politics, and then later I had to debate when I was a candidate for lieutenant governor and held office here. But the fact of the matter is, I think Trump, I think he won the debate. And I think these online polls are going to be reflected in the polls that we take, which are scientific. And I don't think you're going to see anything change. And probably Trump's going to accelerate his margin of victory in these southern states.
Steve Malzberg, you love a good debate. Are you going to take issue with what Matt Towery had to say about Trump's performance?
Well, I mean, I think Rubio won the debate, but like I said all along, I don't think it's going to make much of a difference. But I think Donald Trump got three gifts. One was last night from Mitt Romney, because I think the conservative base and any interested Republican would say, what the heck is he weighing in for? How dare he do to Trump what Harry Reid did to him? Number two, Vicente Fox, that soundbite you played at the beginning, where he said, I'm not going to pay for the effing wall. My God, make a commercial out of that. That's gonna do nothing but help Trump. And number three, it wasn't talked about, but Joe Biden apologized today to Mexico in Mexico City for what Donald Trump has said about Mexicans. All three of those, he couldn't buy those kinds of gifts, and he got them for nothing.
Dick Morris, last week it was the Pope. Today it's the former president of Mexico. Is Is Donald Trump just the luckiest guy on earth when it comes to picking fights with folks?
Well, it certainly will. That certainly will help him. By the way, Vicente Fox is my former client. I helped him get elected president of Mexico, ending 71 years of dictatorship.
Well, that's cool, but I tell you what, he sure helped Trump tonight with that statement, did he not?
He probably did. The truth is, you could get Mexico to pay for the wall. The way to do it would be to impose a tax on remittances. When people wire money home to their families in Mexico, tax it. And you can, in the United States, impose a 20% tax, and it's about $23 billion a year that they send back, and over 3 or 4 years, it'll pay for the wall. Perfectly possible to do that. But if I can have a second, I'd like to just context this in what's going on with the race itself.
You got about 30 seconds, so do that for us, please.
Cruz has to carry Texas. If he carries Texas, the pressure will be on Rubio to carry Florida, and Rubio will not be able to carry Florida. Cruz is outspending everyone in paid media, and he'll probably win a few states and lap Rubio in a few more, finish third in a few more. But when the delegate count happens, I think you'll see Trump in first, Cruz in second, and Rubio in third with a little space between them.
And so this leads, and I appreciate that, Dick. Sorry, the time is getting away from us. Last minute to Mike Huckabee. You heard Dick set up the context there. Mike, in your mind, is there any chance of a brokered convention? We were hearing today that the Rubio people were making preparations for that. We've got 45 seconds, Mike.
Well, listen, I never argue with Dick Morris on political strategy. I think he's assessed it probably very well. But I don't think anyone's going to stop Donald Trump at this point. Unless something major happens between now and Tuesday, I think Donald Trump is going to have a really big day. And then come on March 15th, he could all but put it away. So I just don't see anybody coming up to stop him at this point, JD. I just don't see it.
And that'll be the last word. Governor Mike Huckabee, we thank you very much. Dick Morris tonight on site down in Houston, Texas, and Steve Malzberg from Newsmax, New York. We thank you very much. Also, our thanks to Matt Towery for his comments tonight as well, and for everyone who joined us, including you at home. Now, a reminder, we still want to know who you think won the debate. You can do that by going to newsmaxpolls.com, and please make plans to be here for our full Super Tuesday coverage, obviously coming up next Tuesday night. That'll do it for this post-debate special. For those you see and those you don't, J.D. Hayworth saying, stay brave, stay free, stay tuned, and thanks for watching